Oh, Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
Now, Kurt's convinced that Robert De Niro's on some kind of Epstein list or some kind of thing like that, and then he's afraid that if Trump does get power, he's going to expose him, and he is actually going to come at him.
Of course Kurt thinks
That's
that.
what Kurt thinks that.
Kurt thinks that about every thing that happens in the world.
I think Robert De Niro's just got Trump derangement syndrome.
I think he's old, too. There's a thing about old men.
And
they want to yell at everybody.
And he's completely... Did you see when he went and gave that speech outside of the trial? That was bizarre.
Who told him that was a good...
Megyn Kelly came ready to challenge him. One moment he's speaking like it's a big event speech. The next he's being calmly shut down on live TV. So what did Rogan say that made Megyn laugh, and why did De Niro look like he ran out of things to say? This wasn't a discussion, it was a serious takedown. You rarely see a Hollywood legend get this openly humbled.
Why is he talking about this? Why is he talking about this publicly?
I'm going to say one thing. Trump.
If you're going to come out and say that you have a really deep-seated hatred for one of the two people running for president, you can't just be, he's a bully, he's a piece of shit, I hate him.
He's an idiot. Colin Powell said it best. He's a national disaster. He's an embarrassment to this country. It makes me so angry that this country has gotten to this point, that this fool, this bozo, has wound up where he has.
You probably, if you're going to express yourself about it and alienate 50% of the country, which it seems like it is, you're going to have to do better than that. You should have some specific...
If De Niro earned money every time he launched into a heated political rant, he could probably buy an island where no one supports Trump. But instead, he keeps taking the mic at award shows, waving his arms like he's battling an invisible opponent, confusing the stage for a protest rally.
Yelling at regular people. He's like, fuck you, you're a gangster. Go fuck you. Like,
it's crazy that that's the guy from
what?
Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
You know what also I think those guys have no friends. I think the only friends they have are Hollywood phonies. And so you're in this weird world where everybody you talk to is a phony, and you become a phony, and everyone's a phony, and your grasp on reality is very slippery, and your eyes are going, right? Mm-hmm. So your vision of the world, your actual vision of the world, your ability to read a phone. You ever see old people's text messages? The fucking text on their phone is like as big as my hand.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And so your vision of the world is blurring, literally and figuratively, and then you're getting...
Hollywood is all about make-believe, and De Niro's intense speeches are starting to feel like just another performance. Just when people were tuning out his heated rants, two surprising voices jumped in with no plans to hold back. Joe Rogan, podcast king, joined the conversation like he walked into a messy political drama and decided to tear the script apart.
Stage in front of people with TV cameras pointed at you. You've never experienced that in your life, and you have a panic attack. It doesn't mean you're an idiot, and that's also Robert De Niro.
Yeah, you're in
It's
the wrong
same
element.
thing.
Yeah,
It's
right.
like, why is he talking about this? Why is he talking about this?
While De Niro was putting on a one-man show in front of gold statues and half-awake celebrities, Rogan was behind the mic, dropping honest remarks. No names said, but it was clear who he meant. Let's just say the comments landed so strongly, they seemed made just for De Niro.
Old people are tired and cranky. They just want everyone to listen to them, and they don't have time to have a calm conversation, and you state out your opinion, I'll state my opinion. Let's see where we have common ground. Hey, get off my lawn! And that's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. He's being this old grumpy man that is so lost that he thinks it's a good idea to stand in front of a bunch of people on the street and give a speech on camera about how bad Donald Trump is. With all the shit that's going in the world.
That I know.
All the craziness of
Joe Rogan didn't have to name Robert De Niro directly. He just described a certain kind of actor. The type who thinks playing a tough guy on screen somehow makes them an expert in global politics. According to Rogan, just because you've spent years pretending to be someone like Vito doesn't mean you're ready to teach a masterclass on democracy. It's like a barista thinking they can school NASA because they're really good at stirring coffee. And in classic Rogan style, calm, amused, and maybe a little relaxed, he broke down this Hollywood mindset like it was a UFC match. No yelling, just sharp, well-aimed points. He pointed out how some celebrities act like being famous turns their opinions into facts, no questions asked. It wasn't really about politics anymore, it was about big egos. These folks honestly believe that having a Screen Actors Guild card means they're experts on trade policy. Rogan didn't need to shout. His calm takedown said it all. Being on screen doesn't make you smart, it makes you visible. And while he never said De Niro's name, it was clear who the episode was about. A legendary actor now more known for heated rants than award-winning roles.
De Niro, there's something about being a star where you think your opinion's more important than anybody else's, and you can go give a press conference, and he obviously has been very vocal from 2016 that he hates Trump for whatever reason. Maybe they have some personal thing.
You think Trump ever threw a punch himself or took one? This guy who ran and hid in the White House bunker when there were protesters outside? No way.
Now he's like holding press conferences. Now everyone's heckling him everywhere he goes.
That's so bad.
Like instead of just being this cranky old liberal, now you're this guy that is yelling at other people that are Trump supporters, and they're yelling at you. Like you've opened yourself up to this nonsense.
Then came Megyn Kelly. While Rogan took the calm, sarcastic route, Kelly came in strong with facts, evidence, and zero patience. She didn't name De Niro either, but when you say Hollywood loudmouth who thinks the Oscars are a political podium, it's easy to guess. Kelly wasn't joking around. Her style was sharp, focused, and fed up. She didn't need to mock anyone's movie career. She simply pointed out how strange it is that some actors use award shows like they're running for office without actually studying policy. She highlighted the bigger issue. These celebrities want all the credit of being political leaders without doing the work. They get standing ovations not because their words make sense, but because their name is famous. And while the crowd claps, the only ones quietly rolling their eyes are the event staff, too professional to say what everyone else is thinking. Kelly's message was clear. This isn't just embarrassing, it's risky. When Hollywood stars act like they speak for everyone, unchecked and unchallenged, it distorts the conversation, and the truth gets lost in the spotlight.
He and Trump hate each other personally. I think that's what that is. Yeah, I think probably. What are the odds?
He seems mentally handicapped. I'm not kidding. He seems I don't know. I have a feel he doesn't know about. He was on Bill Maher. Bill Maher has him on to ask him. It's crazy if Bill Maher would ask him anything. You know, there's a National Guard in the fucking subways and shit.
Yeah.
So Bill asks him, "What do you think about it?" He goes, "I don't know. I don't know about that. If there's anything I can do to help."
All you should be asking Robert De Niro about is two things: awesome movies and divorce.
Yeah.
Tell me what happened to you.
I would love to ask him about that.
With the divorce, tell me what happened if you want to talk about it, and tell me what happened to you with these awesome fucking movies. I don't need to know jack shit about his politics.
It's a cycle of nonsense. A glamorous Groundhog Day where the same self-important speeches play to the same smug crowd, followed by the same empty applause. Megyn Kelly, never one to miss a chance to expose the truth, focused on the hypocrisy. She pulled back the velvet curtain on a world where millionaire actors, protected by private security in gated estates, truly believe they understand everyday voters. They deliver speeches on justice from a stage shaped like an Oscar, then disappear into limos worth more than most homes. If her message had a theme, it was this: authenticity matters. People are tired of being lectured by celebrities who spent years in makeup chairs being told they're brilliant. Eventually, the costume comes off, the lights go out, and what's left is just a man who once played a boxer now throwing punches at invisible political foes. And that's where the power of the Rogan-Kelly duo shines, even though they're total opposites. One's a podcast king and former UFC commentator who might think kale is a government plan. The other, a sharp media veteran with a legal mind that cuts through nonsense like a gavel through butter. They don't have to agree on everything. They don't even have to talk to each other. When someone is being that out of line, it doesn't take teamwork to call it out. It just takes common sense and a microphone. What makes their critiques hit so hard is how different they are, but how they still reach the same conclusion. Rogan laughs at the act. Kelly tears down its foundation. Together, they reveal a global stage held up by delusion.
So blatantly stupid. He's a punk, he's a dog, he's a pig, he's a con, a bullshit artist, a mutt who doesn't know what he's talking about, doesn't do his homework, doesn't care.
You didn't think this through. Like, this is, and he's getting yelled at. He's doing an outside press conference. Like,
is that the country we want to live in? Do we want him running this country and saying, I'm not leaving, I'm dictator for life?
Robert, you're 80 years old. Don't ruin this thing. You've had this life where you were a raging bull. You know, you were in The Godfather. Like, stop doing this. Man. Don't do this.
To Rogan, it's funny that actors take themselves so seriously. To Kelly, it's worrying. One sees a joke, the other sees a problem, but the message is the same. Robert De Niro has gone from respected figure to walking punchline in an expensive suit. The kicker? He doesn't even realize it. That's the power of an indirect roast. It's not meant to start a fight. It's meant to make a response feel pointless. Rogan didn't need De Niro in the room. Kelly didn't need him on her show. They both just laid out the facts like two prosecutors who found the same case and couldn't stop laughing at the evidence. De Niro's whole act has gone from powerful to parody, and he's the last one to see it. Nothing shows that faster than being roasted, separately by two media giants who wouldn't team up unless the material was that strong. At this point, he's become the celebrity version of the guy yelling at pigeons in the park. Loud, dramatic, and still convinced he's sharing some deep truth. Meanwhile, Rogan's audience is laughing at his jokes about Hollywood cosplay, and Kelly's viewers are agreeing as she breaks down the clueless elite who think activism ends at the after-party. And both crowds leave with the same message. Just because you starred in Raging Bull doesn't mean you're ready to lead the free world.
Doing it right now about Biden, telling you how you should vote, even though you know he's impaired, you definitely shouldn't vote for Trump.
He has no understanding that I can see of the outside world other than anything around him. He has no idea of what his purpose in life is, as the president should be, and that is to pull the country together, to be for the people, to heal wounds, not to open them up and pour salt on them.
Don't tell people that, you idiot, because it's going to make more people angry and want to vote.
There's something oddly satisfying about watching a once respected actor, known for his tough, serious roles, now acting like he's shouting into the void. The same man who delivered iconic, gritty lines on screen is now making loud political statements that feel more like social media rants than anything meaningful. It's like seeing a world-class chef suddenly put a slice of processed cheese on a fancy dish and call it fine dining. And even though Joe Rogan and Megyn Kelly don't often agree, they both seem to think the public deserves more than a millionaire throwing a tantrum in a tux. It's sad, really, watching someone with so much influence wasted on angry speeches that don't change a thing. Real changemakers don't treat award shows like political rallies or mistake applause for impact. They know that having a platform means using it wisely. Lately, though, De Niro sounds less like a voice of reason and more like a cranky relative yelling at the internet. Somehow Rogan and Kelly, two people who probably wouldn't even order the same coffee, ended up on the same page, shaking their heads at Robert De Niro's slow, awkward fall from grace.
Not going to convince anyone walking down the west side of New York City talking into your phone about what a threat Trump is to democracy. You aren't changing anybody's vote. You're just being a condescending, scolding, liberal, which is what drives everyone crazy.
I always say he's a lowlife. He's a low.
On one side, you have Joe Rogan, part comedian, part commentator, sipping tea and laughing at how out of touch celebrity activism has become. On the other, there's Megyn Kelly, sharp as ever, cutting through Hollywood nonsense like it's her day job. That couldn't be more different, in style, tone, maybe even music taste. But here they are, oddly united in calling out Robert De Niro's strange attempts to stay relevant. It's oddly entertaining, like watching two completely different animals start a band just to drown out a rooster that won't stop squawking about politics. Rogan's comments come with that casual, laid-back disbelief, while Kelly speaks with the clarity of someone who's seen fake outrage from a mile away. They didn't plan this, and they've never teamed up, but somehow both delivered the same message. De Niro, once a giant in film, now just sounds like someone yelling on Twitter in a tux. And that's what makes this hit so well. It's not just a roast, it's a reminder of how easy it is to lose the plot when you mistake noise for meaning. 11. This isn't just about De Niro shouting into microphones like he's auditioning for a grumpy Broadway role. It's about a bigger issue, how celebrity culture believes it speaks for everyone. For years, we've seen actors step up to award show podiums and talk like their film roles gave them a license to lecture the world. Just because someone played a war hero or a justice-seeking lawyer doesn't mean they suddenly understand global politics. Sorry, Bobby, but playing Vito Corleone doesn't make you a foreign policy expert. And yelling about your political opponents like there's a wild animal in your kitchen, that's not helping either. What Joe Rogan and Megyn Kelly did wasn't just criticism, it was a cultural reality check. It shows people are done pretending the guy from Raging Bull has all the answers to America's problems. Folks are tired of being scolded by celebrities who fly private and post hashtags like they're solving real issues. The truth is, most people would rather hear honest thoughts from their neighbor or barber than another millionaire's speech trying to sound deep. Rogan and Kelly didn't yell or rant. They didn't use fire emojis. They just held up a mirror, and De Niro clearly didn't like what he saw. He kept ranting while they quietly exposed the gap between his image and reality. He's no longer the voice of a generation. He's more like the opinionated uncle people tune out at Thanksgiving. Thanks to Rogan and Kelly, he's become less of a political figure and more of a punchline. And that's the real sting. What's harsh isn't the jokes. It's the fact that people who once respected him have stopped taking him seriously. He's now a cautionary tale, showing how fame doesn't automatically mean insight. Rogan laughed at the circus. Kelly called it out with sharp focus. And De Niro, he's still backstage, giving a speech no one asked for, unaware the crowd already left. So what's the takeaway? If you want to be taken seriously, maybe don't treat your Oscar moment like a political rally. And if two media personalities who rarely agree are both calling you out, maybe it's time to rethink your script. Because the real performance wasn't in the movies, it was on live TV, where a former legend unknowingly became the star of a roast no one